Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Netflix's new series, Pretend It's a City. And this is actually from director Martin Scorsese. So Scorsese has this new documentary series as he interacts and interviews his friend Fran Lebowitz, who up until probably the past year or so, I didn't really know who Fran Lebowitz was, but after watching documentaries such as, especially Booksellers, she's in it quite a bit as she's an author, and she has very strong feelings about what's happening in terms of the world of books and booksellers. And she's a very interesting person, and when I saw that this was going to be a new series on Netflix, I'm like, I'm interested to check this out. It's a 7-episode series. They're like, I feel like 25 to 35 minutes each episode, and a lot of it's interviews. And you have Scorsese interviewing her. You even have Scorsese and her just interacting. Like in the last episode, they're going to the library to look up records of their family's immigration into this country, and you have her just talking to the camera and hearing Martin Scorsese's raspy laugh off to the side because she's quite funny, and that's something that makes this series pretty engaging, is that it's funny and you'll get a lot of laughs out of it. I certainly did. And you have these other dynamics. There's an interview where she's being interviewed by Alec Baldwin, and having that perspective, because obviously Alec Baldwin's a different kind of artist than Fran Lebowitz is. And that's also interesting with the dynamic of Scorsese is a director. Film is his art. And obviously this documentary is his art, as he's speaking to this other artist, Fran Lebowitz, who has different perspectives and has very strong feelings about books and reading and writing. And you have her interacting with others. Like, there's bits and pieces of an interview with Olivia Wilde. One of the most interesting parts is her being interviewed by Spike Lee, because obviously Spike Lee is also a filmmaker, very large personality, and has very strong opinions on different kinds of things. And each episode kind of focuses on different things, because we get the perspectives and ideas of Fran Lebowitz in this film. You get an understanding. It's not quite a biography, but you learn about how she came to this point and her perspective on the world, and specifically New York City. Because I'm from New Jersey, I'm from South Jersey, so like people are like, going to the city. I'm like, Philly? Until I came to Central Jersey for college, and everyone's like, what do you mean it's New York City? I'm like, been there once. And obviously I've been there quite a few times since, and it's a whole different kind of world, especially as somebody who grew up in suburbs their whole entire life. And the city, to me, New York City was extremely intimidating. I was not that much intimidated by Philadelphia, but to be perfectly honest, I mostly went to South Philly and to like the sports arenas and stuff like that in the middle of giant parking lots. But you have New York City, it has its own personality and so many different things, and you get this perspective through the lens of Fran Lebowitz about this city, and from Martin Scorsese as well, as he has his fingerprints on things as well from directing this series. And it's engaging, it's entertaining, and it's thought-provoking. There's definitely moments where I didn't agree with what she was saying on things, but she also brought up a lot of interesting perspectives on the changing landscape of art, of reading, and society, and perspectives, and how young people, it's a different generation, and even just something as small as, like, she's like, young people these days don't have stuff. And then Scorsese's like, yeah, because they have it all in their little thing here, and that's true, as I sit in front of a couple of large things of stuff. I like physical media and enjoy having that. And I think that's something that's lost in a lot of people my age. A lot of them are perfectly fine just having electronic things. I do have records. I did used to have a CD collection. I did get rid of them and have Amazon Music, but I still have my vinyls, and those are things I could connect with. And it was interesting hearing that perspective. And like one thing that I didn't necessarily agree with was she had a very interesting back and forth with Spike Lee about athletes. Are athletes artists? Should a Michael Jordan be compared to like a Mozart or to like Martin Scorsese, let's just say? And her perspective is like, they're not artists, they're great at what they do, but it's not art. And it's interesting because is that athletic achievement something that should be comparable? And it made me think. And more I think about it, I could see her point of view. I probably lean a little bit more to Spike Lee's point of view, but this series allows you to think about those kinds of things, and which is why I appreciate it a lot. I definitely would recommend Pretend It's a City. If you just want to have an engaging, it could be fun. Like, you can have fun with it, you can get some laughs out of it, but a more engaging and thought-provoking kind of experience that I feel like a Scorsese and a Lebowitz can bring to you. But those are my thoughts on Pretend It's a City on Netflix. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.